Greetings, explorers. You've just entered a space where stories breathe, history speaks, and curiosity leads the way. From ancient mysteries to modern marvels, we cover it all. So buckle up for another mind-blowing journey. Now we explore, explain, the secrets of the Great Pyramid builders. In the golden sands of ancient Egypt, where the mighty Nile breathed life into an otherwise barren desert, one of the greatest human achievements took shape: the Great Pyramid of Giza. It was not just a tomb, not merely a monument of stone, but a statement of divine ambition and eternal legacy. The story of the Great Pyramid is not just about bricks and engineering, it is about a civilization's obsession with immortality, power, and the gods themselves. Nearly 4,500 years ago, around 2560 BCE, Pharaoh Khufu, known to the Greeks as Cheops, ascended the throne of Egypt during the Fourth Dynasty of the Old Kingdom. Egypt was at the height of its power. The land was fertile from the annual floods of the Nile, trade routes stretched from the Mediterranean to Nubia, and the pharaoh was considered a living god, a bridge between heaven and earth. Yet, for Khufu, mere divinity was not enough. He desired something eternal, something that would defy time itself. And so began the construction of what would become the Great Pyramid of Giza, the last surviving wonder of the ancient world. To truly understand the secret of the Great Pyramid builders, one must first understand the world they lived in. Ancient Egypt was a society deeply rooted in religion and the afterlife. Egyptians believed that death was not the end, but a transition to another world, a place where the soul, or Ka, would live forever if properly cared for. The pyramid, therefore, was not just a tomb, but a vessel for resurrection, a machine of eternity designed to launch the pharaoh's soul into the heavens among the stars. But how could such a massive structure, standing 481 feet tall and consisting of over 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks, be built over 4,500 years ago without modern technology? That question has baffled historians, archaeologists, and engineers for centuries. Some claim divine intervention, others whisper about alien architects. Yet the truth, as revealed by the sands and stones of Egypt, lies in the ingenuity, organization, and unyielding spirit of human innovation. Imagine standing at Giza in the early dawn when the first rays of sunlight strike the plateau. You would see thousands of workers, stonemasons, laborers, architects, priests, and overseers moving in harmony like an enormous machine. The air would echo with the rhythmic chant of workers hauling stones, the creaking of wooden sledges, and the call of foremen shouting instructions. Dust would rise in golden clouds as blocks of limestone, each weighing between 2.5 to 15 tons, were dragged from nearby quarries and hauled across the sands to their destined resting place. But how did they manage to move such massive stones? One of the greatest secrets revealed by modern archaeology is the use of water and physics. Recent discoveries near the Giza Plateau suggest that workers poured water onto sand in front of the sledges, reducing friction and allowing the blocks to glide more smoothly. It was a simple yet ingenious technique, a blend of practical science and communal effort. This method turned an impossible task into a monumental reality. The organization behind the pyramid was no less remarkable. The entire project functioned like a national enterprise, run with military precision. The workforce was not, as once thought, composed of slaves whipped into labor, but rather skilled workers and seasonal laborers, farmers who joined the project during the Nile's flooding season, when fields were submerged and agriculture paused. They were fed, housed, and cared for in vast workers' villages discovered near the pyramids, complete with bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. Archaeological evidence even shows that injured workers received treatment, proof that they were valued participants in a national endeavor, not expendable slaves. The construction site itself was a marvel of planning. The base of the pyramid was leveled with incredible accuracy, so precise that modern engineers still marvel at how ancient builders achieved it with primitive tools. Using copper chisels, dolerite hammers, and ropes made of papyrus, the Egyptians managed to carve and shape stone with precision that rivals modern machinery. The alignment of the Great Pyramid is another enigma. It is perfectly oriented to the cardinal points of the compass, with its sides facing north, south, east, and west with almost negligible error. This alignment was likely achieved by observing the stars, especially the circumpolar constellations that never set. The pyramid, therefore, was not only a tomb but a celestial instrument, its purpose intertwined with the heavens themselves. The deeper one digs into the story of the pyramid builders, the more the human element shines through. Behind every block, every ramp, and every chisel mark lies the sweat and vision of people who believed they were serving something divine. The Great Pyramid was a national project that united Egypt's craftsmen, engineers, mathematicians, and astronomers. The scribes who kept records, the priests who blessed the work, and the laborers who hauled stone under the blazing sun all contributed to a vision that transcended life and death. And yet, beyond all the human effort, mystery still lingers. How did they raise the stones to such incredible heights? Did they use straight ramps stretching miles across the desert, spiral ramps wrapping around the pyramid as it rose, or an internal ramp hidden within the structure itself? Each theory carries both evidence and controversy, but none has been proven beyond doubt. It is here that the story of the Great Pyramid begins to drift from the realm of history into the realm of legend. The Great Pyramid was not built overnight. It took approximately 20 years, a generation of planning, labor, and devotion. During that time, Egypt thrived. The pharaoh's power was absolute, and his word was law. Yet in the hearts of the builders, perhaps a different dream took root. A dream of immortality not for a god-king, but for themselves. Their work ensured that even millennia later, the world would remember them, not by name, but through the stones they shaped and the legacy they left behind. As the sun set over the desert, casting long shadows across the golden limestone, one could imagine the workers resting by their fires, sharing bread and beer, gazing up at the pyramid rising toward the stars. In that moment, they were not just building a tomb, they were building eternity itself. The Great Pyramid of Giza still stands today as a monument to this human achievement. Despite erosion, theft, and the passage of time, it continues to dominate the landscape. Its geometry perfect, its symbolism profound. It is a silent guardian of the past, whispering secrets of an age when humans dared to reach for the divine.
But what truly lay inside the Great Pyramid? What treasures, what rituals, and what hidden mechanisms did it conceal within its limestone heart? And how did the builders ensure that this colossal tomb would survive millennia of time and turmoil? Those are the questions we explore next as we journey deeper into the hidden chambers of the pharaoh and the minds of his builders. As the desert wind swept across the plateau of Giza, the Great Pyramid loomed in silent majesty, a mountain of stone born from human vision and divine obsession. Yet the true wonder of this monument was not its sheer size, but what lay within. Beyond its towering facade of limestone blocks, the pyramid concealed a labyrinth of chambers, passages, and mysterious voids, designed not merely for the dead, but for the journey of the soul toward eternity. At its core, the Great Pyramid was both architectural brilliance and spiritual machine. The ancient Egyptians did not see the world as separate realms of matter and spirit. They saw them as intertwined forces. Every dimension of the pyramid, its height, angle, alignment, and even the placement of its chambers, was crafted according to sacred geometry and cosmic order. The builders believed that by aligning the tomb with the stars and with the heartbeat of the earth, they could ensure Pharaoh Khufu's eternal ascent among the gods. To reach the secrets within, one had to descend into darkness. The original entrance, hidden high above the ground on the pyramid's north face, led into a sloping passage that plunged downward into the bedrock. This was the descending passage, a narrow tunnel barely large enough for a person to crouch and crawl through. It led to an unfinished chamber deep underground, what archaeologists call the subterranean chamber. Some say it was an abandoned plan. Others believe it symbolized the underworld, the dark womb of creation from which the pharaoh's soul would be reborn. Above the descending path lay the ascending passage, leading upward into the very heart of the structure. This passage, steep and smooth, opened into one of the pyramid's most remarkable spaces, the Grand Gallery. Standing nearly 30 feet high and 150 feet long, its corbelled walls rose in symmetrical layers that seemed to draw the eye upward toward heaven. The precision of its construction still stuns engineers. Every joint, every block, placed with millimeter accuracy. There was purpose in its perfection. The gallery may have served as a symbolic pathway for the soul, a cosmic ramp toward the afterlife.
At the top of this gallery lay two mysterious chambers, the Queen's Chamber and the King's Chamber. Despite their names, neither housed a queen nor bore clear signs of royal remains. The Queen's Chamber sat perfectly centered along the pyramid's north-south axis, a symbolic position representing balance and rebirth. Two narrow shafts extended from its walls, once thought to be ventilation ducts, but now believed to have astronomical significance. Modern researchers discovered that these shafts align with specific stars. The north shaft pointing toward the star Thuban in the constellation Draco, the ancient North Star, and the south shaft aiming toward Sirius, associated with the goddess Isis. In Egyptian cosmology, these stars were sacred gateways to the heavens. The alignment was no coincidence. It was a deliberate bridge between Earth and the divine. Above the Queen's Chamber lay the King's Chamber, the heart of the pyramid. Constructed entirely from massive blocks of red granite transported from Aswan, some weighing over 70 tons, it was the sanctuary where Pharaoh Khufu's sarcophagus once rested. The chamber was designed with extraordinary precision, its walls and ceiling perfectly aligned, its air shafts pointing directly toward the stars Orion and Alpha Centauri. Orion in particular was associated with Osiris, the god of resurrection. The symbolism was clear. Khufu was to rise as Osiris, joining the gods in the afterlife and watching over his eternal kingdom. But the most astonishing secret of the King's Chamber lies above it. Hidden from view for millennia were 5 small cavities known as the relieving chambers, a series of horizontal spaces designed to distribute the immense weight of the pyramid's core and prevent the chamber below from collapsing. At first glance, they appear purely functional, yet their construction shows a level of architectural foresight unparalleled in the ancient world. The granite beams above these chambers weigh between 40 and 70 tons each, yet they were hoisted into place with flawless balance, without cranes or steel machinery. Only ropes, levers, and human determination. Even more mysterious was a discovery made in the 19th century by British explorer Howard Vyse. When he broke into the uppermost relieving chamber, he found painted hieroglyphs naming Khufu, a crucial clue linking the pyramid to the Great Pharaoh. Skeptics later accused Vyse of forgery, claiming he painted the symbols himself to claim fame. Yet modern chemical analysis has largely confirmed their authenticity. The red ochre markings were consistent with Old Kingdom pigments, proving that the pyramid was indeed built under Khufu's reign. The mystery, however, only deepened. How could such an immense project be completed in just 2 decades? Mathematics may hold part of the answer. The Egyptians were masters of proportion and geometry long before the Greeks ever recorded such concepts. The angle of the Great Pyramid sides, 51 degrees, 52 minutes,
was not random. It reflects a deep understanding of the height and base, forming a perfect ratio that approximates the constant pi, pi. Some researchers argue that this knowledge must have come from an advanced source, perhaps a lost civilization or forgotten science. Yet others insist that Egyptian astronomers and priests developed it through centuries of observation, measuring the earth, stars, and shadows cast by the sun.
The pyramid's design also encodes astonishing knowledge of the planet itself. When measured precisely, the pyramid's base perimeter divided by its height equals 2 pi, an uncanny match to the circle's geometry. Its orientation toward true north is accurate to within 1/20th of a degree, a feat unmatched by modern buildings constructed with lasers and GPS. How did they achieve this? Most likely by observing the fixed stars at night and using a simple plumb line to mark the perfect north alignment. But some believe it hints at something deeper, a connection between the pyramid and the cosmos, between human civilization and universal order. While scholars study the stones, storytellers explore the legends. Ancient texts suggest that Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, bestowed sacred knowledge upon mankind, knowledge of measurement, writing, and architecture. The priests who designed the pyramid may have considered themselves heirs to this divine wisdom. The structure itself was built not just as a tomb, but as a cosmic temple, a place where heaven and earth met. In hieroglyphs, the pyramid was called Iket, meaning glorious light. Its gleaming white limestone casing reflected the sun so brightly that it could be seen for miles, a beacon of divine power shining across the desert. But beyond the spiritual and symbolic, the engineering secrets remain the most debated. How did the Egyptians lift 70-ton granite blocks over 300 feet into the air? Ramps are the most accepted theory, yet not simple ones. Straight ramps would have required more material than the pyramid itself, making them impractical. Spiral ramps around the pyramid's sides are possible, but lack physical evidence. A newer theory, proposed by French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin, suggests an internal spiral ramp, hidden within the pyramid's walls. According to this model, the blocks were hauled up through an inner passageway, turning corners at 90 degrees as the pyramid rose higher. Laser scans of the pyramid conducted in recent years have revealed mysterious voids and anomalies that may support this idea. Perhaps the greatest engineering secret of them all still lies undiscovered within its stone heart. Equally fascinating is the precision of the cutting and fitting of stones. The joints between blocks are so tight that even a sheet of paper cannot slide between them. Many blocks were polished and leveled to microscopic accuracy. Modern stonemasons have examined the cuts and noted that copper tools alone would struggle to achieve such precision. Some have speculated that the Egyptians used a type of abrasive sand cutting technique, mixing copper saws with quartz sand to grind through granite. Others believe they used dolerite pounding stones found in large numbers near the Aswan quarries. Whatever the method, it speaks of incredible skill, coordination, and patience. Each block shaped by human hands guided by vision and purpose.
Inside the pyramid, acoustics add another layer of mystery. The king's chamber, when struck or chanted within, resonates with a deep, almost musical frequency. Some scientists have noted that the chamber vibrates at 440 hertz, the same as the musical note A, used as a standard tuning pitch. Whether coincidence or design, it adds an almost mystical quality to the space. Ancient Egyptian rituals often involved chanting and harmonic sound. Could it be that the pyramid's chambers were tuned for spiritual resonance, intended to amplify prayers or guide the soul through vibrational energy? It's a question that blends the boundaries of science, faith, and ancient knowledge. Recent technology has only deepened the mystery. In 2017, scientists using muon tomography, a type of cosmic ray scanning, discovered a previously unknown void above the Grand Gallery. This massive, hidden chamber, over 30 meters long, had remained untouched for 4,500 years. Its purpose is still unknown. Was it a structural cavity, another relieving space, or something more? Some suggest it might have been a hidden ritual chamber, perhaps containing sacred texts or symbolic architecture lost to time. The fact that such a discovery could still be made today proves how much of the Great Pyramid story remains unwritten. What becomes clear, however, is that the builders were guided by more than engineering. They were driven by belief. Every line of the pyramid's architecture embodies Egyptian cosmology. The square base represents the earth, the four sides the cardinal directions, and the apex the divine union of heaven and earth. The entire structure mirrors the primeval mound of creation from which life first emerged according to Egyptian myth. The pyramid was both tomb and universe, a map of the cosmos in stone. When Pharaoh Khufu was finally laid to rest within his pyramid, surrounded by offerings, sacred texts, and symbols of rebirth, it marked not the end of a life, but the beginning of an eternal journey. The rituals performed during his entombment invoked the gods, ensuring his transformation into a celestial being. The pyramid gleaming under the sun was both a lighthouse for his spirit and a monument for the living, a constant reminder of the divine order that sustained Egypt. But time, as always, would test even the mightiest of creations. Over centuries, the casing stones were stripped away to build cities. Earthquakes shook its base and thieves plundered its chambers. Yet the Great Pyramid endured, its core intact, its legacy eternal. Even now, as modern Egypt thrives around it, the pyramid remains a riddle in stone, whispering the voices of those who built it. As night falls on Giza, the stars above align with the silent peak of the Great Pyramid. Orion rises on the horizon, the constellation of Osiris, the eternal king. Perhaps as the ancients believed, the soul of Khufu still travels among those stars, watching the world from the heavens. And perhaps the true secret of the pyramid is not hidden in its stones at all, but in the enduring human desire to reach beyond death, to touch eternity itself.
The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for over 4,500 years, a silent sentinel of human ambition, genius, and faith. Across millennia, it has inspired awe, incited speculation, and provoked endless debate. In part 3 of this story, we delve into the lingering mysteries of its construction, the theories that surround its creation, and the enduring legacy of the builders who dared to touch eternity. While conventional archaeology provides a detailed picture of the Great Pyramid's construction, alternative theories have captivated the imagination of scholars and enthusiasts alike. Some propose that the level of precision and mathematical knowledge evident in the pyramid surpasses what humans could have achieved in 2560 BCE, suggesting lost civilizations or advanced knowledge now forgotten. The idea of lost technology is grounded in the observation that the alignment, cutting, and placement of massive stones, combined with the flawless interior design, required expertise that rivals modern engineering. Could the Egyptians have possessed techniques now lost to history? Perhaps methods of lifting, moving, or shaping stone that we are only beginning to rediscover through experimentation and simulation. One particularly controversial theory involves the notion of extraterrestrial assistance. Some writers speculate that the Great Pyramid, along with other ancient megalithic structures around the world, could not have been built without help from an advanced civilization from the stars. This hypothesis, while widely debated and dismissed by mainstream archaeology, captures the public imagination precisely because of the pyramid's perfection and mysterious voids discovered inside. Though no physical evidence exists to substantiate this claim, the theory reminds us that the pyramids have always seemed otherworldly, monuments not just of ancient Egypt, but of human aspiration itself. Yet, for all the speculation, the most compelling evidence points back to the genius of human ingenuity. Recent experiments have demonstrated that large teams, armed with simple tools like sledges, ramps, levers, and ingenuity, could indeed construct a pyramid of this magnitude. The ingenuity lies not just in moving stones, but in synchronizing thousands of workers, each with a specialized role in a massive, coordinated effort over decades. It is a testament to organization, vision, and shared belief that a civilization without engines, cranes, or electricity could achieve what still baffles modern engineers.
Mathematical and astronomical symbolism remains one of the most intriguing aspects of the Great Pyramid. Its dimensions encode ratios approximating pi, pi, and the golden ratio, linking it to universal mathematical constants. Some researchers argue that the pyramid functions as a kind of cosmic map, its passages and shafts pointing towards specific stars that governed Egyptian religious belief. Orion, Sirius, and Dubin were not mere points of light. They were beacons guiding the pharaoh's soul, linking life on Earth to the heavens above. Every angle, every line, and every axis was intentional, reflecting the Egyptians' profound understanding of geometry, astronomy, and cosmology. Modern technology continues to uncover hidden aspects of the pyramid. In addition to the mysterious void discovered with muon tomography above the Grand Gallery, other scans have revealed small anomalies within the stonework, air pockets, cavities, and unexplained gaps. Some researchers speculate these could be structural chambers, ritual spaces, or even storage areas for sacred texts. Despite thousands of years of exploration, the pyramid still holds secrets that remain beyond human reach, tantalizing archaeologists and engineers alike.
The spiritual significance of the pyramid cannot be overstated. In Egyptian belief, the pyramid was more than a tomb. It was a machine of resurrection. Its very shape, the square base rising to a point, symbolized the primordial mound of creation, emerging from the chaos of the waters of Nun. The pharaoh, as the living embodiment of the god Horus, would ascend through the pyramid's pathways, merging with Osiris and the eternal order of the cosmos. Every chamber, every passage, and every shaft was designed to facilitate this metaphysical journey. It was an architectural expression of faith, a monument to the human desire for immortality. Legends surrounding the pyramid further enhance its aura. Ancient texts hint at rituals, chants, and ceremonies designed to animate the stones with divine energy. The workers themselves were part of a sacred mission, their labor intertwined with spiritual devotion. Their songs and chants may have resonated through the chambers, creating sound vibrations that amplified their prayers and the pharaoh's passage into eternity. Modern acoustic studies show that the king's chamber resonates at specific frequencies, suggesting that the ancient Egyptians may have understood the impact of sound on spiritual experience, a theory that borders on the mystical. Even today, the Great Pyramid remains a beacon of inspiration. Scholars study it for clues about ancient civilization. Engineers examine it for lessons in construction. Mathematicians marvel at its precise ratios. And travelers flock to Giza to witness the enduring majesty of this human achievement. Its endurance through millennia speaks not just to the strength of limestone or granite, but to the vision and determination of its builders. The pyramid is a bridge between past and present, a reminder of what humans can achieve when imagination, skill, and belief converge. In addition to its historical and spiritual significance, the pyramid has influenced culture and thought across the globe. From Renaissance thinkers to modern architects, the Great Pyramid has served as a symbol of perfection, mystery, and human ambition. Artists, writers, and filmmakers continue to draw upon its imagery, embedding the pyramid into the collective imagination as an emblem of the ultimate human endeavor. Its silhouette, striking against the horizon, serves as a timeless reminder that some achievements transcend time, space, and even mortality itself. The Great Pyramid's survival is a lesson in resilience and foresight. Its design distributes weight in a manner that prevents collapse. Its stonework has withstood earthquakes and centuries of environmental change, and its core structure remains largely intact despite human interference. This resilience reflects not only the technical skill of its creators, but also their understanding of the long view, of time, durability, and the enduring nature of legacy. For the builders, the pyramid was not a temporary project, but a testament to eternal ideals. Even as we uncover more about the construction techniques, spiritual significance, and hidden chambers of the Great Pyramid, many mysteries remain. Why was the interior chamber network designed in such a complex and precise manner? What exactly did the lost voids contain? How did the ancient Egyptians transport massive stones with such efficiency? While some questions have plausible explanations, others continue to elude definitive answers, keeping the Great Pyramid firmly in the realm of wonder and speculation. Ultimately, the story of the Great Pyramid builders is the story of human ambition. It is a tale of visionaries who sought to bridge the mortal and the divine, of workers whose sweat and skill built monuments to eternity, and of a civilization that fused art, science, religion, and mathematics into stone. Its secrets are not just in its blocks or chambers, but in the imagination, perseverance, and creativity of those who dared to dream beyond the limits of their time. As the sun sets over Giza and the stars rise once more in the desert sky, the Great Pyramid continues to watch silently over Egypt. Its stones hum with ancient knowledge, its chambers echo with the footsteps of those who built it, and its shadow stretches across history, inspiring generations to marvel at what humanity can achieve. The Great Pyramid is more than a monument. It is a testament to the human spirit, a reminder that even in the sands of time, dreams carved in stone can endure forever. And so, the secrets of the Great Pyramid builders remain partly hidden, partly revealed, a balance of mystery and knowledge. Scholars, engineers, and explorers will continue to study its structure, measure its alignments, and probe its chambers. Mystics and storytellers will continue to weave legends around it. Tourists and admirers will continue to stand before it in awe. But above all, the pyramid endures as a symbol of humanity's eternal quest for meaning, for immortality, and for the sublime beauty of creation itself.